Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chine, and if this is your first time coming across my video, you're welcome. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be taking you guys through the process of making this palazzo pants. I should have uploaded this video since, but I've been quite busy. So if you're interested in learning how I made this, please keep watching. To make this trouser, you'll be needing at least 1.5 or 2.5 yards of crepe material, then your basic trouser pattern. Yes, you need your basic trouser pattern. You need the front and the back, and soft stay for the waist of the trouser. So the first thing I'm going to do is to fold my fabric into two. Then I'll place my front pattern piece on the fabric. So on the waist of the trouser, I'm going to add 1/2 inch. Then on the crotch of the trouser, I'll add 1/2 inch. And on the inseam, I'll add 1/2 inch. Then on the side of the trouser, I'm going to add 1.5. If you don't want so much allowance on your trouser, you can either add 1/2 inch on the side or 1 inch. But I like adding 1.5 so that if the trouser is tight, I'll just be able to adjust it. So I'm trying to check the length of my trouser if I'm to add any extra inch to the length. So I'll go ahead now and cut out the front piece. If you've not cut a trouser before, you can use a chalk to mark out the 1/2 inch and 1.5 on the side so that your lines will be very accurate. So I'll go ahead now and cut out the front piece. I'm already used to cutting trouser, that's why I'm using freehand to just cut. But if it's your first time, you can mark out the 1/2 inch so that everything will be very accurate. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut out the front. Then I'll place the back on another side of the fabric and cut out as well. I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did on the front. I'm going to do it for the back as well. I'm done with the front piece here, and this is what it looks like. The next thing I'm going to do now is to place my back pattern and also cut out the back. Okay, so exactly the same thing I did for the front, that's what I'm going to do for the back. I'm going to add 1/2 inch on the crotch, on the waist, and 1/2 inch on the inseam, then 1.5 on the side. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Then I'll show you guys the next thing to do. I'm done cutting the back here, and this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and start joining the trouser. So for the front piece, before I remove the pattern, I'm going to notch where my dart is supposed to be. Now you can also use your chalk to mark the length of your dart. Then I'm going to sew up the crotch line. Then I'll sew the dart, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So I'm done sewing the center of the trouser of the front piece and the dart, and this is what I have. I also went ahead to weave it as well. I'm going to do the same thing for the back. So on the center of the back, I'm going to measure out 8 inches. Now this 8 inches is going to be open. That's where I'm going to fix my zip. My trouser zip is going to be at the back. Then after measuring out 8 inches, I'll sew up the rest of the crotch. Then I also went ahead to notch where my dart is going to be. So I'm going to sew the dart and sew up the remaining parts of the crotch. The 8 inches is going to be open. Please take note, the 8 inches is going to be open. That's where I'm going to fix my zip. So I'm done doing that here. I also went ahead to weave it. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to bring the front and the back. Then I'll join the inseam. The inseam is the center of the trouser. So from the crotch, I'll join one side first. Then I'll go back to the center and join the other side. I'm going to join with 1/2 inch. I added 1/2 inch allowance for the joining. I'm done doing that here, and this is what I have. I also went ahead to weave it. You're going to join with 1/2 inch, not more than 1/2 inch. So I'll turn it to the front and show you guys what it looks like. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to attach my zip. I'm going to fix my zip at this point. So I'm going to be using a long zip. I'll just go to my sewing machine and fix the zip. Then I'll close up the sides. I'm done fixing the zip here, and this is what I have. Now at this point, the trouser is almost ready. The next thing I'm going to do is to close up the sides. Now on the sides, I added 1 1/2, so I'm just going to take 1 1/2, then sew it up. This is what my trouser looks like. The next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the band. There are 2 different ways you can cut your band. The first one is to just cut a straight band. Okay, you can measure out 5 inches, fold it into 2, then attach to the waist of your trouser by 1/2 inch. So if you're using the straight method, you have to reduce your waist measurement by 1 inch or 1.5, so that by the time you're done, it's going to be very fitted. Or you can use the second method, which is curving the waist of the trouser. The waistline is not straight, so you can just curve the waist of the trouser. Now if you're going to curve it, you have to use your exact measurement, because by the time you're done, you're going to get a well fitted waist trouser. So I'm going to use the straight method. I'm just going to cut out 5 inches, then fold it into 2, then I'll attach to my trouser. This particular method is very easy and is also very convenient, so you can go for this method. The next thing I'm going to do is to iron my soft stay on this band. So I'm going to iron my soft stay. Then on one side of the band, I'm going to iron in 1/2 inch or 0.75, then leave the other side. Okay, so I'm done doing that here, and this is what I have. You're going to iron in 0.75 or 1/2 inch. I'm going to take one side of the band, then I'll start joining from inside the trouser. The part I'm joining is not the folded part, so I'll just join from inside of the trouser, from the zip part. That's where I'm joining from. So I'm done doing that here, and this is what I have. So the next thing I'll do is to turn to the front of the trouser, then cover with the folded part of the band. So anytime I'm cutting my band, I like leaving extra 1 inch or 1.5, because I normally add skirt hook to my trouser, so that when my customer wears it and they hook it, the trouser will be more fitted. So I'm done joining the band here, and this is what I have. The next thing I'm going to do is to use my hemming gum to fold the down part of the trouser. So this is what the trouser looks like. After ironing it, you should have a well-fitted palazzo trouser. So this is the finished result. This is the end of this tutorial. I hope you learned something. Please, if you have any question, ask me in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, turn on the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be notified. I also have a detailed tutorial on how I made the crop shirt and also a detailed tutorial on how I drafted the trouser. So the link will be in the description box, so you can just click the link and go ahead and watch how I made the crop shirt and how I drafted the palazzo trouser. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys in my next video. Bye.